Declan Everett, master of machines. Last episode we showcased Dave's spectacular HQ Jodies two-door. This time we catch up with Dave and Jody for part 2 of this incredible collection of cars. And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more awesome content coming your way. Bit of a standout for me, Dave, the HT Monaro. Looks as tough as hell. Tell us about that car.
Yeah, that's a tough car, that one. A mate of mine, Lawrence, has owned that car for about 20 years now. It was only in the last couple of years that we pulled the car down and done a bit of a major resto on it. You know, fixed up all the panel and paint, smoothed the bay out. It's got a 406 Chev in it, alloy headed, glide, 4.5 converter, 9-inch and some gears in it. You know, it's a tough cruiser, that one.
They're as rare as hen's teeth now, the early Monaros, aren't they?
Definitely so.
Big dollars even for a down car that needs restoration. It makes me want to cry. Probably never own one. That car too, it just sounds tough. You know, the moment I heard it start up, it got the heart racing.
Yeah, she's got a banger engine in that one too, like solid cammed and everything, so yeah, it pulls the heads, that one.
What sort of horsepower is it making?
That one made about 430 at the rear wheels, so you know, it's a good performer. He's raced it once, went 1140, so that's the first time he's ever raced a car or anything like that. He's more sort of just into cruising it and that, but we got him out on the track once and he had a crack, it was good.
Very, very tough. There's nothing like a bit of Aussie, old school muscle, with a banger power plant and all the gear running the numbers.
Oh yeah, it's cool. And a car that you can sort of just drive anywhere in too, you know. And the colour combo that makes it, you know, the old green with the gold stripe on it, it's era correct, you know.
Looks the part. The XWGT replica in spectacular silver fox with the orange stripe. What a car.
Oh definitely mate, that's a tough Ford, that one. I'm not really much of a Ford man, but sorry the Ford guys out there, but that one is a tough Ford. I like a tough one.
Tell us about the power plant.
It's got a 440 cube dart block in it, alloy headed, you know, it makes 780 or something, naturally aspirated, a bit over 1,000 with a spray of gas, so it's turbo 400, 4.5 converter, it's got a 9-inch in that in it, all the usual stuff, alloy case and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a tough car.
Those big cube Windsors have really got it happening, haven't they? There's so many parts available for them.
For sure. In the States now, the stuff that you can get for them cars is just unbelievable.
But that sort of horsepower, naturally aspirated, is insane power and still drivable.
Yeah, I had actually drive it when we had it on the dyno, and the car's just insane on the street. It's just too much for him, you know, and he hasn't raced a car before, so it's definitely going to be an eye-opener for him, I reckon.
You would have to think it'd be a 9-second car if it hooks up, and doesn't it look the part? That silver fox has really got it happening, hasn't it?
That colour combo is just, yeah, it's killer. It stands out too, doesn't it?
The wheels, the whole package, I just love it.
Definitely.
Now that I know it's got that power plant in it, I love it even more. Now, the HJ Kingswood, that's a really tidy looking car. You could almost say it's a little bit of a sleeper in a way, but I believe it might be a bit more than that.
Yeah, I think it has got it surprises a few people, that one. That's why that one's actually a one-owner car that a mate of mine, Brad, owns. His grandpa had it since new. The car's always been looked after. We've done a bit of a resto on it about 4 years ago. He's just starting to get to enjoy the car now. It's 308 V and headed, turbo 700 with a stall, power steering, air conditioning. He's got stereo. He likes the car with everything, that guy, I'll tell you, and it is a tough cruiser.
Isn't it great to see that he's kept the car in the family?
Oh yeah, and to watch his family's reaction on the car now that it's finished, it's great, you know, like he gets it out there every time he can, you know, it's a good car, that one.
I'm sure there'll be people who say, oh, maybe you should have left it stock, you know, maybe you should do this, should do that, but I love to see the fact that it's been kept very tidy, and it's been modified to his liking, and the car's probably going to stay in the family forever.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a great
I
thing,
don't
isn't
reckon
it?
he'll ever get rid of that one.
Jody, you two are the dynamic duo. You're both flat out into cars. Where did it all start for you?
So for myself, it started at a very young age, going up to Mortlake, out country Victoria, where my grandfather lived, on school holidays, and yeah, just hanging out in the garage with him, helping him pass tools and get under the car and getting greasy. Not that my nana really appreciated it, but yeah, that's where it all started for me.
So for Dave, that would have been a dream come true. He didn't have to convert you, you were already converted.
Yeah, and it was so nice to actually meet someone who, you know, actually let me have the passion that I feel for cars and let me get out there and enjoy it as much as I do.
In what can be generally seen as a male-dominated scene or sport, it's great to see the women out there giving the guys heaps and doing it well too.
Yeah, there are quite a lot of women out in the motorsport industry now. You can't put it past the female to definitely put their all to what they want to achieve. and I'm definitely one of them, so good on the girls.
And in some ways they even do it better.
Yeah, in some cases, you got that right.
Now tell us about your machine, this VH Commodore here. What an animal.
Yeah, so I've had the VH for roughly about 5 years now. It has been and gone a couple of times, but she always comes back to her home. She's just a standard small hydraulic 355. It's got a manualised Trimatic in it, 9-inch, 4 ones, 31 spline axles. Yeah, it's just really set up for me to go out on the track and have some fun, basically.
So it's a stout drivetrain and it's a small hydraulic
just
Holden
a small,
combination?
yeah, just a small baby hydraulic cam in there.
What sort of power is it making?
350 rear wheel horsepower.
Geez, that'd be a good 450 plus at the flywheel. That's not hanging about.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
What sort of numbers does it run at the track?
So recently I took it out on Melbourne Cup Day to Calder Park, and it's done its best time of 11.402 at 119 miles per hour.
Gee, that's
so
a great
yeah, I was
thing.
pretty stoked that day, getting my PB and the car getting its PB as well.
So the car's running the numbers and the mile per hour is great, and
Yeah.
the car's working very well, and you're driving it extremely well by the sound of it. I don't think you'd squeeze an ounce more out of it.
No, well, I'm hoping that it's going to hit just above the 11.4 and get into the 11.3s without hitting it with a little bit of nitrous. So that's the plan, to get out there and get that 3. And then once that happens, I'm actually going to put some nitrous oxide on there and yeah, see what it pulls.
It's such a great thing, the gas. I remember when I started working with nitrous, the first time I saw it on the dyno, I hit the button. It was an LS1 based engine, and it was just like the whole world erupted. You know, it was just the angriest thing I've ever seen. The dyno graph and the torque curve just went through the roof. It was amazing, almost frightening in a way, but it's such a great way to run the numbers out there at the track. You can pull seconds off your ET.
Yeah, it sure is. Look, I've never driven with the gas before. I've watched Dave a couple of times in the VL Calais, and I'm pretty excited to feel that adrenaline running through me with the, you know, just that force of the nitrous running through that motor.
And I notice you're into the cowl hood scoops as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely love having them. Especially it also gives a little bit more airflow for the engine.
I've noticed too, I've seen some images of you out at the track with the wheels off the deck in this car. It launches, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. Likes to pop the wheel a bit. Make sure that, you know, you obviously get the right launch from the line. It will pop it.
It's all about the 60 foot,
It's
isn't
all
it?
about the 60 foot. You got that right.
So there's a bit of a passion in your family for high performance, obviously, and your brother Shane, he's got a pretty special VNSS too, I see.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different car, that one, like a late model car with some tubs and carby fed motor, and yeah, she's a bit of a banger, and it's got a 355, some solid cam, manualised turbo 700, yeah, and Borg-Warner diff, 4 ones. That's a tough cruiser, that one too, yeah.
We all have our small block Chevys and our Windsors and Clevos and all that, but it is great to see the Aussie V8, that Holden engine, being utilised and making some good power too, isn't it?
For sure, mate. I love the Holden motors, you know, like they work good. When you've got a good combo, they're a good engine.
Also, the wheels on the car look absolutely spectacular.
Yeah,
They
sit under.
Simmons?
Yeah, they are. They're the FR19s. And yeah, it's got 19x10 on the back. It's definitely sits right, that car, and it's got the right stance. It pulls the heads, that one too, so it's definitely a good, nice car.
Aussie wheels on an Aussie car. And you don't see that many VNs out circulating around in the local cruise or car scene these days.
Like, there used to be a lot of them getting around, but now they're sort of, yeah, they've gone a bit quiet on them, which is good because, you know, you get to use this one and people actually really admire it a bit, you know, so it's good.
I love it when I saw it first up and the big wheels and the reverse cowl hood scoop and all the gear, it just looked the part. It looked unbelievable.
It's got a little bit of nitrous on that one too, so he's raced it a few times at NA form, so it'd be good to get him out there with the gas on it soon and yeah, get him into the 10s.
Awesome. I remember when the VNSS first came out, when I had the shop. First time I ever drove one, I was horrified. Because you've got to remember before that there was nothing like that engine.
Definitely, yeah.
And I remember seeing one out at the track, a guy dropped the rear muffler on it and ran a high 14-second quarter mile. Yeah. And at that point in time, that was a fast car, wasn't it?
Sure.
You know, we'd come from our, our early carb-fed Commodores, and they were a fairly brisk thing, but these things were in another league.
The injected thing was just like, yeah, this is a big thing, you know.
You stand on it, the thing just wanted to shred the tyres. On the drag strip, of course. Something extremely unique, the F-Truck. Tell us about that machine.
That's a 1964 Ford F-Truck, HQ chassis. It's got an injected 5-litre motor in it. It's got turbo 700, 22-inch wheels, full airbag. That one's a cool cruiser, that one, definitely. It's got a mild engine in it, set of heads and a camshaft, but It's on the way to upgrade to a supercharger at the moment, so that's in the works. So it'll be a bit of a cool cruiser, that one too, yeah.
It's great to see something different, and I love the satin style paint. It just stands out. It's good to see something a little bit different out.
Yeah, that's why Jamie built that car. It's just, it's something different to everyone else's one, you know, like, and having the Holden running gear and that in it sort of confuses a few people. And he's put a custom like intake and that on it as well that sort of looks a little bit different.
And the airbags are insane. The thing sits on the deck. It looks amazing.
And he drives it a lot like that too, just on the ground, and it's just, the looks that car gets is just unbelievable.
The VL Calais, that's one of your babies, isn't it?
I've had that car for about 20 years. So I've had it before I got with Jodies, and yeah, she's been through some changes, that car, over the years. At the moment, it's got a alloy-headed 402 cubic inch Holden. So that one made about 610 on the engine dyno. So we've changed a few things on it since then, but it's got a full manualised trans brake glide, 6 grand converter, fabricated 9-inch coilovers, some mini tubs in that one too. It's caged. Yeah, that's gone a best of 10.0 with the old setup at 137. So I'm just got the car Andrew Tech, so I'm looking to get back out there as soon as possible and see how it goes now with the new changes. So hoping it'll definitely dip into the 9s now.
Jeez, yeah. that mile an hour, that is strong. That thing is definitely making every bit of that power.
Had the mile an hour before, but the car wasn't working. So now we've changed a lot of stuff in the back of the car and the front, so it's definitely hooking now. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, yeah.
Amazing. Now, there's going to be a lot of other people asking this same question, and maybe I'm a little bit behind the times here. I've been out of the shop for a little while, but 402 cube Holden engine?
Yeah, that's one of the Come Racing kits. It's 396 kit. A lot of work goes into the block too. That's actually a Group A4 block in that one too, so it's a pretty rare block that we sort of messed around with in the beginning, but you know, it is what it is, and the car, it performs good now, so I'm just itching to get out there.
It should make a world of torque too with that cube.
Yeah. I think it made about 540 foot-pounds of torque, so it's you know, definitely up there as well, yeah.
What's it turned to RPM wise?
We'll turn that one to about 7,500.
Wow, that thing is one very, very angry VL.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd like and comment on this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notifications bell because there's a lot more content coming your way.